Today we are gonna go over Phoenix and Bristol. Well, Phoenix briefly, like super brief. Then talk about Bristol.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna talk about
Everything's been
NASCAR racing at Dodger Stadium. That's gonna be fun.
a little different.
Interesting. Let's roll that intro.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Race Hale, Praise Dale. I am Voodoo.
I'm JTDALLIS.
Hey. This is the podcast where we talk about everything related to the world of NASCAR Cup Series and a little bit of other things sprinkled on top.
I was about to say, we cover a little bit of truck and Xfinity every now and then.
Yeah, and a little bit of sprinkles on top, you know. I get that topping on that ice cream sundae. So before we hop into our normal giddy up of stuff that we cover, first things first.
I have something to show you all.
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay. I have a magic box.
Surprise.
That's my favorite box. Okay. But I don't know why it's magic. I gotta show you. Okay. That's open. Couple of items I'm really excited about. First off, my Chris Bell hat, gone.
What?
I have a Praise Hale, Praise Dale official merch hat. I don't know if you guys can really see.
Looky there.
Awesome. Got the light blue because I thought it would make the logo stand out. I'm real happy with it. Me at Texas. That's what I'm going to be wearing. And then my wife ordered a really cool Hale Praise Dale shirt. So that answers the question of, we have merch rolling in now.
Yes. We'll get you some. Get you some. Probably need to start adding the merch link description. But as far as Twitch, well.
But yeah. So these hats are actually really comfortable. I just had to fix the back of it so it fit in my fat head.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
The shirts are actually really soft. Logo come out. Full graphic tee. I'm loving it. Maybe one day, just an idea that I'm bringing this on you. Maybe we'll make like a mock, like 90s, like graphic tee, but like have like a car made up for the Race Hale Praise Dale show. Buying our own scheme and everything.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta sneeze.
I bless you, even though you muted your mic.
Yeah, I muted my car. I didn't know you wanted my sneeze to focus. But yeah. Have merch now.
Yes.
Do you have that code, Voodoo?
It's exclamation point merch. and Twitch. I do not have it enabled on YouTube because this is our first time going live on YouTube. So
I started the stream and it started echoing. That's why I was like, sorry if my mic.
No, I don't think it did. Yeah, so we got merch. We'll get you some. I might have to add that link into the description of the.
Like I said, I got the blue hat just because blue is one of my favorite colors. Well, is my wife's favorite color. My favorite color is green, but I don't think the logo would look very good on a green hat. Just because the colors I don't think match. But yeah. So my amazing magic box brought me goodies from the interweb.
Yeah.
But
I have to give myself some now. So back to the normal programming. Not that we want to get away from not pushing our merch, but we don't want to only talk about our merch. We do have a couple of new sponsors that were announced. We got one that was announced after Phoenix. So after Phoenix, but before Bristol. Safety Culture gonna be joining SVG at Daytona.
Yes, sir.
I went ahead and kept that one on there. We obviously don't have a scheme for it yet because Daytona's a little bit. But
you have a couple of them for Coda though.
Yeah.
Got Josh Berry with the Overstock.com car.
I've been seeing a lot of
Cowboy.
like stuff on X or Twitter, whatever we want to call it, with looking for fan submissions for Overstock.com teams. So we might do something cool.
Been seeing a lot of those too.
And then you got old Kyle Busch, got a new partner with Mark III Employee Benefits. Not even sure I've heard of them, but another new scheme for him coming out.
You got the Dinger. He's gonna be running a gutter protection.
Now that's actually, we're gonna mention this a little bit longer, but this is Colleague's extra car that they're gonna be entering at Coda, because SVG is gonna be in the 16 with WeatherTech, so they want AJ Allmendinger to drive too, so he's getting pushed to 13. Cool. I believe we mentioned this before with John Hunter Nemechek with the Romco Equipment Co., but it never was mentioned what races they would sponsor, so we'll get to see that scheme coming out at Coda.
Yeah. And then you got Timmy Hill with Ampricity.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've heard of Amtricity
I think
either.
I said that right.
That'll be this is actually Motorsports Business Management. If you recognize that team name. They haven't run a cup race since what was it, 2022? I believe. Been a while.
I have no idea.
Been a while.
First time I really heard about that team.
Yeah, but Timmy Hill coming back, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So speaking of Coda,
got some team changes.
Yep.
So this first one, I have no idea how to say his first name. I want to say it's
Kamui
Kobashi.
Kobayashi. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's as good as you're gonna get. He's running the 51, and I don't know if did we put the slide in here?
We do got a scheme for that one. We'll show later.
Oh my goodness, it is beautiful.
Right, I think it's the best Mobile One scheme this season so far.
Definitely.
We just mentioned Timmy Hill in the 66.
Timmy Hill.
We don't have his sponsor. Well, we have his sponsor, which is Amptricity, but we don't have a scheme reveal yet. As of about 5:30 this afternoon, our time. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And then,
Yeah. We were talking about AJ earlier too. He's running for colleague in the number 13 car.
yep. And then jumping away from COTA, they announced that Josh Williams will be back in the 16 for Martinsville with his Alloy, I think, employment professionals or employment services, something like that. In a little blue and white scheme.
And then completely jumping away from Cup, and Spire announced that Connor Zilich is going to race the number 7 for COTA, Talladega, and Homestead.
Yeah,
Have him in. That's in the Craftsman series.
that dude's getting all kind of stuff. I think they just announced that he was going to run like 10 races in Arca East too. So, he's going to have a full plate here. Not a full-time driver, but it's going to feel like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, we got updates for 2 weeks now because last week we didn't do an episode. So some of these updates are from before Bristol, but we haven't announced them yet. So we're going to go ahead and throw them out there.
So, this next thing on our notes, I have not seen this. That makes me really excited.
Well, why don't you tell the rest of the family here?
Okay, so the next thing on our notes is Racing America 24/7 channel is now available on the Roku channel. And the Roku channel, if you guys don't know, is a place for like free premium entertainment. They have a bunch of stuff on there. Well, I have a Roku TV, and this is why it makes me super excited. But apparently they're going to be covering NASCAR Cup team content with news and talk shows and like live grassroots racing. That makes me really excited. I'm gonna have to download this just to see what it's like. Possibly next week I will give y'all guys an update. Just because I'm like, man, if this extra content, I would love to have this. Because like I said, I've got a Roku TV at home, and I don't know. If you use Roku, it's pretty helpful. You know how to use it. Like, you can search for different shows and it'll tell you what it's streaming on and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
I think it's a pretty cool addition. Lucas, can I help you?
Oh,
sir?
yeah.
He wants to show everybody his blue hair.
That's some blue hair, bro.
Crazy kid. Anyways. So, something we mentioned earlier.
Look better with a yellow 48 on it.
Right. So NASCAR has been holding discussions about a race at the historic Dodger Stadium within the next couple of years.
I would like to know how they plan on doing that. I really want to.
It'd probably be a smaller track than doggone LA Coliseum.
They'd probably be able to run like 10 cars.
Right.
If that.
I don't know how much traction they got actually going there, but it's one of the many options to try and keep a race in Southern California. As we all know, Auto Club Speedway is partially demolished right now, so you can't race there. And there's a lot of people that don't think that we're going to return to the LA Coliseum. Pretty much donezo there.
I'm not gonna lie, I would not be mad if we didn't return, because I'm tired of seeing Coliseum. It is not a race that I enjoy watching. I liked it a lot better when it was at Daytona.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand why they don't want to return to Daytona, but I don't like it. Too small.
Yeah. Now, another option they were talking about in the past is a new short track development in Fontana. So,
that one wouldn't be bad if it was like a legit short track, kind of like Martinsville or something.
I just know that we will be racing in Southern California somewhere. We just don't know where yet. But we'll keep an eye out when they finally announce where that will be. Probably be a while.
nuts. Speedway Motorsports is still working with the new Nashville administration on any changes to fairground deal possessed by the Fair Board, estimated about 18 to 24 months of construction after 3 more reading approved at Metro Council. 2026 is the earliest.
Might get some Nashville Fairgrounds racing, baby. That'd be cool too. I mean, look at what going to Wilkesboro did for that track. And big jumping up for their team. Now this next one is something that they recently announced, but Lee Diffie will take over as lead commentator in the NASCAR on NBC booth shortly after the Olympics complete. That's gonna be pretty cool. Now, I know his accent's a little different because he's from Australia, but he calls pretty good. I have to say that much. You still there? Her stream together thing is frozen, sir. Alright, so we momentarily lost him and try and get him back. See what happened there, but yeah, so Lee Diffie's going to be joining the NASCAR and NBC booth, which is kind of part of that shakeup of Dale Jr. leaving and dipping out to go to Amazon and all that stuff. So we'll see how that works out. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So different deal. 3. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. Part of the game. Moving that way. Give us a second, y'all, while we try and... Or what happened there? I try to get him back in. Like we're still live on our end, so while we're waiting on that, I'm going to jump into some rule changes.
I think I'm back.
There he is. Hey.
My Wi-Fi decided to crap out on me, so
Yeah, you sound kind of iffy, but I think your webcam's not as clear as it was before either. But hey, it wouldn't be streaming if we didn't have technical difficulties.
oh, there.
Yeah.
Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay.
All right, so
Where are we at?
Jumping into
Where
rule
we at?
changes. I didn't go too far ahead of you.
Okay.
NASCAR put in writing that they could add 2 at-track penalties after further review. Just something that they were already doing, but as it mentioned, they put it in writing.
And being writing.
Now it's official.
They also added where crew members can remove a glove to remove the windshield tear-offs.
I guess they were having some trouble getting that grip up there.
Had to pick a penny up off the ground with a glove on.
Nah, I doubt it.
I think that's all of our rule change.
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, they go over rule changes like every week. Is what it is.
That's fair.
So next up, in the fantasy league, you need to get into it. The winner outside of myself and Dally will be getting their own.
We'll be getting a 164th INL grid 94 Manchester. So as of right now, trash can first, behind, and Haley is behind fourth. Magic is fifth. You only have 5 people in, and there's still plenty of time to earn points. So you guys want to earn a die cast potentially, go to the NASCAR.com series and search Raise Hale, that's Hale, Praise Dale Podcast. Has to say podcast, or it's not ours. The password is RHPD, that's all lowercase, RHPD 2024.
Yeah, so get in now, and you could easily catch up if you pick the top 5 of every race. You can catch up real quick. Alright, so
let's play a little catch up.
Yeah,
Quick catch up.
quick little stab at
Shriners
Phoenix.
Children 500.
Yeah.
So the purse for the Phoenix was $7,806,252 total purse. Denny Hamlin got the pole. Ty Gibbs joins him on the front row. Tyler Reddick took stage 1. Christopher Bell took 2, and the win with a 7-second lead.
Yes,
Crazy.
sir.
I am happy because I'm a Bell fan.
Right. Yeah, he maybe put that in there.
Rookie of the week. Oh yeah, I twisted his arm. Rookie of the week was Josh Berry. Started 36th, or I'm sorry, wasn't the rookie.
No, I would say Hocevar.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So just our rookies. Josh Berry started P36, finished 26th. Kaz Groloff started 32nd, finished 30th. Zane Smith started P28, finished P29, and Hocevar started 10th and finished 5th. Hocevar was definitely for Phoenix.
Barry did pick up 10 spots, but Hocevar only lost 5. Not bad. I would give it to Hocevar. You're froze up again, but hopefully I was not being dumb again. So that was our quick little Phoenix video. We're gonna jump to Food City 500 at Bristol. The tire gauntlet. Purse there for Cup was $8,182,531. Ryan Blaney got the pole. Josh Berry joining them on the front row. Ty Gibbs took stage 1 and stage 2, and then Denny Hamlin pulled out a race win there. We had new NASCAR all-time record set for lead changes at 54 lead changes between 16 different drivers, which so happens to also be a Bristol record. Pretty nifty. Setting records out there with some rough tires. Speaking of rough tires, before we jump into the next part here, go ahead and switch over to green here. We're gonna bring up these tires and talk about these lovely old tires for your Wi-Fi is not wanting to cooperate tonight, is it?
I finally just gave up, and yeah, it's been like this for a couple days. I don't know what my Wi-Fi company is thinking. Anytime it gets like slightly breezy or anything, really need to get fiber, but they don't. There is no fiber that comes to my house. I've called around.
Got moved down here. Got fiber in my house. Yeah, so let's talk about these horrible tires that I wouldn't say horrible. I didn't know what you were doing.
I'd say
yeah,
made me think of
doesn't look like your mic's registering like it was before.
testing 1 2.
There we go. All right. Yeah, so here's a picture of, I don't know whose tire this is, but I sure as heck wouldn't be driving that down the dog. That looks pretty scary. This is after what, about 50 laps running on them?
Yep, that was about their 50 laps was about as much as they were gonna go.
Pretty gnarly looking. Different angle, a different group of tires. So them ones on the right over there are real wore down. Left side tires are the ones where you can marble in on top. Well, yeah. So that's what Bristol wound up turning into. Kind of tire saving fiasco.
Gave Hamlin and Truex the advantage that they got. I'm gonna call it advantage because take a look at the old cars that they used to run. I mean, they had enough horsepower that if you did step on the gas, it would rip the tires up. So, I mean, they knew they were. I'm gonna say they were better equipped to handle that on a cup car versus some of the newer guys that, you know, all they've known is they could floor it and it's going to be okay. I think that's what really set them apart.
Yeah. So, speaking of these tires, we're going to get into a little bit of some stuff that Earnhardt Jr. talked about and NASCAR themselves and stuff like that. In regards to how they felt the tire was. So starting off with that, this was a quote from Dale Earnhardt Jr. He said, "As Harvick was so smart to mention, teams can set their car up to handle these tires a bit better. If Goodyear refused to budge, teams would need to make necessary changes before they came back. Cambers and certain other settings can give more life to the tires." So I think because it was mentioned that these tires were the same tires that they ran at Bristol fall of last season. They didn't make any changes to them. Like, what is the big difference there? I mean, they used a different compound.
My question is, yeah, they used the resin instead of just the different, like you said, traction compound. But my question is, it was a lot warmer this race than it was for Bristol in the fall.
Was it warmer or was it colder this time around? I thought it was warmer.
I thought it was warmer.
Maybe I looked at that wrong, but I know there were 2 races that were in like the mid 70s, and I think there was another race that was in the 60s. I want to say it was this one. I might have read that wrong. I don't remember who posted that little statistic, but I mean, other than the traction compound and the weather, that's really the only things that changed between fall last year and now.
Yeah.
No. We'll see if that fall race is gonna. I mean, it's a night race, so that'll be a little bit different. Looks like we may be dropping him out again. Just to continue, this is from J-Ski. One article that he put out. Says, I know on the tire allotment, we actually removed a set of tires from the fall race coming into this race. That's on us, not Goodyear. That was John Probst, the NASCAR Chief Racing Development Officer. That was right less than 2 hours after the checkered flag. And he continued to say, so we actually gave that back during the race, as you guys saw. So they'll go back and look at all that stuff. The fall, they actually already had the extra set of tires that they didn't have at the start of this race until about midway through stage 2. They handed them out to everybody.
It was about 60 degrees yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. But this one was a little bit cooler than
for this race.
Last couple winter. But I don't know how a colder track would eat up your tires more. That doesn't make sense to me. But I mean,
well, see, I had it the other way around. I thought it was warmer this time than I thought it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was assuming maybe the heat played a part in it, but I have no clue.
Yeah. Now, like I just mentioned, they did have 10 sets of tires last year at the fall race, and they only went into this race with 9. But then halfway through stage 2, they got that 10th one back. So, but I don't remember the tire wear being this drastic the fall race.
I thought in the fall they could at least make it like 80, 90 to 100 laps before they had to change tires.
Yeah.
This one, I'm wondering if it had something to do with that resin compound that was eating the rubber or something. Because I sent you a picture. I don't know if you've seen it, but the marbles after the truck race, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you could literally see like the tire pieces on the sides of the tracks.
Yeah.
So,
and then I saw somebody posted on Twitter. They essentially like walked up there to that top groove, like was just able to pick up like a big chunk of the rubber laying up there.
Yeah.
Now, it's weird because like what usually happens is that rubber will kind of stick to the track, will help out the grip and stuff. But it wasn't doing that. It was just
this time it wasn't. It was like marbling up.
Yeah, it was just sitting on top. Oh, it's weird. I don't know. There were some people that maybe it was the resin, because there were some people that wound up running that second line, staying out of it. I don't know if their tires really.
Yeah, and they seem to look. Well, I was about to say, because take a look at Bell. He mainly stayed in like that middle groove, and it seemed like he could go about 60 to 65, 70 laps on his tires, which is closer to what we had in the fall.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed like Ty Gibbs was doing pretty well with his tires, but I guess he just kept pushing it too hard, because he drove up through the field quite a few times.
Yeah. Kind of off subject, but on subject. Did you see where Kyle Busch hit one of his pit crew because the jack guy dropped his jack way too soon.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get him to stop. Yeah, I saw that. Wound up bumping him up onto the hood a little bit. Yeah. But hey, at least they got him to stop instead of having to come back around.
That jack guy. Yeah, if I was that pit guy, that jack man, me and him would be fighting. I promise you.
Well,
I mean, dude just got run over. Well, at the same time, though, Kyle Busch should have seen him.
Well, I mean, you kind of just, once you feel that jack drop, you're hitting the gas.
Yeah, but at the same time, if there's a human standing in front of you, I mean, it's kind of common sense not to.
Well, I mean,
run them over.
We'll get another shakeup of his pit crew.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they've been shaking it up pretty.
I want to know what's wrong with Joe. Like, speaking of pit crews, like, look at Joe Gibbs' pit crew. To me, they have not been the best. This was the best Chris Bell crew that I've seen this weekend. They had like a 9.6, 8.6 pit stop there that one time.
Tell you what, I thought Joe Gibbs was gonna pull off a 1, 2, 3, 4 finally. A little bit there.
I did too, there for a minute, and then at the last part, they Gibbs and Bells get back, and I was like, oh.
Right.
As much as I dislike Denny Hamlin, he deserved that win, if that makes sense. Well, let me rephrase that. As much as I dislike Denny Hamlin's new persona, because I didn't mind Denny before Kevin quit, but he's kind of whiny anymore.
He's the new Kyle Busch. Before Kyle Busch.
That's fair. Yeah, 100% fair.
Oh man. But jumping back to the tires.
Anyway.
John Probst's quote here. He said there were times in the race, obviously, when there was anxiety around having enough tires to finish the race. The man coming out the end and watching all that, I would not want to change much at all. Honestly, just maybe give them more tires in the field. So it doesn't sound like they're going to be changing much with the tires there.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong, it was a great race. I enjoyed it.
Sure. I mean, you could tell that they were slowing down the pace to kind of conserve tires after that first stage, but I mean, everybody was doing it. It wasn't as drastic as the Daytona 500 situation, because that was insane.
Yeah.
But on top of those record-setting days that we had mentioned earlier with the 54 lead, 16 different drivers, Pro said it was certainly a record-setting day for us. I know the race teams are probably pretty wore out right now. I know our track crew and folks up in the booth are pretty wore out just from a pretty exciting day all around the track. Certainly had some anxiety around some tire wear and things like that. All in all, I think it was probably one of the best short track races I've ever seen.
It was a good one.
I agree.
But it definitely was. It was really good. I enjoyed watching it. So
I think it was Ty Gibbs' race though. So he messed it up.
So I told Haley. I think I was talking to Haley. I don't know. I might have been talking to you. But I told him, I was like, it was almost like, Joe Gibbs got on the radio talking to the other drivers like, Hamlin's gonna win this. You know what I mean? Because Bell was leading for a while. Of course, Ty Gibbs was leading for the majority of it. And then all of a sudden they just like backed off. You know what I mean? Especially when Denny got around him, and it was like Martin was doing everything to push Denny. I don't know. It just, in my opinion, it looked like they were like, oh well, boss said I got to do this, so I got to do it. I don't know how you felt about it, but that's what it looked like to me.
And I think it would have been cool if it would have stuck to Joe Gibbs being 1, 2, 3, 4.
All four.
But
yeah, that would be. Crazy.
Sticking in the Toyota camp, how about that old John Hunter Nemechek?
Oh boy, that top 10. Let's go.
I mean, yes, he finished a lap down, but there were only 5 cars on the lead lap race, so. But P6.
I know Haley was so upset because, all her people were laps down. I'm like, it's Bristol. They're going to be laps down. There was only 5 people that weren't.
Right.
He's like, oh, so that's normal? I was like, yeah, that's kind of normal for Bristol. I was like, it's only, what, a mile? Isn't that what it is?
It's 0.533
It's a short track.
Just a tad over a half mile.
Oh, a half mile, yeah. Yeah. That's what I was telling her. I was like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
going to the rookies for Bristol, I would definitely not give it to Hocevar again this week. But Josh Berry started P2, like we mentioned, finished P12. Kaz Gralla started P33, finished P19. That's a big jump there. Zane Smith started P16 and was out pretty quick with an engine issue.
finished dead last.
Yeah. And then Hocevar started P35 and finished P27, which he climbed a little bit. But I would definitely give probably... Kaz Gralla put up a good fight.
I would say Gralla just by positions.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Berry, he was running up in the front almost the entire race. I'd probably give it to Berry.
I'd give it to Barry, but as far as positions moved, Gralla has him beat. Because Barry went backwards 10 positions. Gralla went forward, 14? But
Fun times. My wife interrupting me. So.
but yeah, so I guess we can agree to disagree on the rookie of the week, only because you said Barry because he ran up front most of the time. And I agree he had a really good qualifying, but he went backwards 10 positions. That's my only problem. I look at Kaz Gralla as he went forward 14 positions. So there, he moved up the furthest. Yeah. So that's why I would choose to put Kaz Gralla as our rookie of the week.
Huh? Maybe we'll just have to agree to disagree.
That's me though.
Or you know what? Better yet, how about the people watching? Go ahead and comment which rookie you think deserves it.
Yeah, throw it in the chat and comments, and then next week we'll tell you who got it.
All right, so jumping ahead, we're doing something new. Dally's been working on these videos that he posts on TikTok and Twitter and all that fun jazz, but we figured why not add it in here? So we are gonna, that's still them ugly old tires. We're gonna play it for you guys. And if you want to see it before this, then you need to go follow all of our social medias so you can see it before.
Yeah, because it's posted on my personal TikTok, which is what it is. And then it's posted on our YouTube channel and our X. So if you want to follow our YouTube channel or our X, it is posted both, usually on Monday.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and show you this beautiful little bean footage.
Well, guys, there was the weekend winners video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to try to post them every week. I don't know if we're going to keep it in the podcast. We might not. you want to it's just telling who won the races. It doesn't go into any deeper than that. Like I said, on YouTube and X.
Let us know what you think of all these little different pieces of content we're putting out. Because if it's something that you want to see, we obviously want to keep putting it out. If there's something that we're not putting out that you do want to see, let us know. And we will try and see if we can get it taken care of for you. Well, that's what we're about. We're here to try and entertain you guys. So. But since we know who all won the races and all that stuff this past week, let's talk about the race coming up this weekend. Echo Mark Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. First thing that is a change is NASCAR has added 20 additional minutes practice to Dakota due to it being the first race of the short track / road course package. Road course. So instead of just one 20-minute practice for Group A and Group B, they get 2. So you'll see Group A go for 20 minutes, B go for 20 minutes, and then they'll do it over again, and then we'll jump into the group qualifying.
Yep.
Get to see a little bit longer practice.
So,
more coverage.
So we'll talk a little bit about the schedule. So Friday on FS1, we'll have the truck practice and qualifying at 3:30 p.m. I'm assuming this is Eastern.
These are all Eastern, yep.
Okay, making sure. And then at 5 p.m. you've got Race Hub. At 5:30 you've got Xfinity practice and qualifying. And Saturday, yeah, go ahead.
So they won't be switching. I mean, most of this is going to be on FS1, but that's not starting until 10:30 in the morning. But Cup practice and qualifying starts at 10 a.m. So the first 30 minutes of that's going to be on FS2, and it'll switch over to FS1 at 10:30. So
I know. I don't know if it did it for you, but on my FS1, I started watching the race, like the pre-race stuff, and then like as Kevin Harvick's talking, they go to commercial. I wasn't thinking anything of it, and next thing I know, I'm watching softball, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't right. So I had to switch over to Fox, and I was like, oh no, because at first I was like, don't tell me they canceled the race.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was real butthurt until
that's why you got to pay attention to that Sunday schedule. Jumps around a little bit.
Yeah, that ain't no lie.
So next up, you got NASCAR race day at 12:30, and an hour later at 1:30, you got the truck race, which first stage is 12 laps, second stage is 14 laps, and the last stage is 16 laps. That'll.
I'm not gonna lie, I read that as December 14th of 2016, and I was like, "What's that?"
Yeah, we're going back in time, baby.
I wish.
All right, so after that race is done, 4 o'clock will be NASCAR race day again, and we'll be jumping to Xfinity an hour later at 5. First stage is 14. Second stage is 16 laps, and the final stage is 16 laps. So just a few more laps than the truck race. Get a double dose of racing on Saturday. Fun.
I'm pretty excited about that. I've gotten to where I like watching the trucks in Xfinity just as much as the Cup. So
yeah.
I hope Roger can pull off another win.
We'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, on Sunday,
you should pay attention to the schedule, sir.
On Sunday, I'm paying attention. Okay. At 2 p.m., NASCAR race day is on FS1. At 3 p.m., race day switches over to Fox. It's just a regular Fox, not FS1, FS2, just Fox. And then at 3:30, the Cup race starts. The first stage is 15 laps. Second is 15 as well. And the last stage is 38.
Buddy. Like,
Ooh, Voodoo's getting fancy in here. He's got the current forecast for each day. So the Truck Series race looks like mostly sunny, low to upper 70s during the race, 0% chance of rain,
0% chance of who?
10 to 11 miles per hour winds from the southeast. I was reading winds when I said, rain, so it would come out Wayne. 0% chance of Wayne.
Xfinity Series race later on that day, you get a high of 77, 0% chance of rain, and the winds are the same, 10 to 11 miles per hour from the southeast.
All right, and then that Cup race is going to be partly sunny with a high of 79 perfect degrees, only 5% chance of rain, 20 to 21 miles of winds from the south with gusts up to 30 to 32 miles per hour.
Buddy.
And then we got some double duties.
Yeah, I figure we throw these in there just to see who's working a little bit of overtime on the weekend,
Working them
in the trucks
races.
Got old Ross Chastain, Niche Motorsports 45.
I really hope his truck is as cool as his last year one. I think it was last year. Is red with like the watermelons in the back. That sucker was cool.
I haven't been able to spot what sponsor he's gonna have yet, so we've yet to see what this look like. But I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Definitely. Well, moving on to the Xfinity Series, we've got our boy John Hunter running the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing. And then we got Attaboy Larson with 17, running the 17 for Hendrick. So, looking forward to seeing those guys run.
I'm sure John Hunter is probably going to run his same scheme that he's been running. And then obviously, Kyle Larson's part of that HendrickCars.com number 17. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to look just like his number 5.
Yeah. Gonna be pretty familiar.
Yeah, his number 5 or Raj's number 17 truck. If you look at one, 71, you've seen them all. Not 17. It's literally no. Yeah, I'm sorry. I realized that as it come out of my mouth. I was trying to glaze over it, but you wouldn't let me. Thanks.
Nope, not happening. All right. So,
anyway, moving on, we have some new paint schemes.
Yes. Now, most of these are for COTA, but some of them are not.
One's for Texas.
Yeah, right. Where's that? There it is. Wing.
Look at that RFK. Looks like every one of their other schemes.
Except, this is the Castrol Edge 125 years car. They made it white instead of black.
Honestly, I think it looks better black.
Oh, I kind of dig in the white.
I think for 125. I'm just gonna say, I think for 125 years they could have made just a cooler scheme.
For sure, yeah.
I don't know. I really don't dig this scheme. It's not my favorite.
It is literally the same as the regular Castrol scheme. It's just white instead of black.
Whoever was doing Kevin Harvick schemes the past few years for Stuart Haas needs to go to RFK and teach them something. Because some of RFK schemes are like top notch, but some of them were like this that just kind of they're bland. I'm not trying to be rude. It's an okay scheme. It's just very bland to me, and it's not my favorite.
I can agree with you there. No needing to agree to disagree. We agree on that one.
Yeah.
So enough looking at that thing.
And speaking of the scheme that never changes, we got to change scheme for once.
I don't know if I
do like the scheme.
This is technically the same scheme that he ran at the Clash, except it's going to have Napa night vision instead of just auto park. That's the only difference.
I didn't think about that until you said it. I was just thinking of him something besides, the white and blue and yellow Napa sign. Now that you say that, it kind of ruins the whole aesthetic for me. I mean, it's an okay looking car. I definitely like it. I'd probably put it on the same level as the Castrol.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just kind of bland. And that's one thing that I really wish NASCAR would bring back is like really cool, like decadent schemes that are like, popping out.
Well, I liked his scheme that he ran a couple years ago to where it was white, blue, and yellow instead of this whole solid blue thing you got going on. Not digging it.
I agree with that one. Yep. I agree with that.
So next up, I would say
I don't.
A close second.
I don't mind his
and
that he ran.
It's all right.
Last year.
It's all right.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these new schemes are just like old schemes that are being recycled.
I could agree on that.
But this next scheme isn't, and I really like it.
I would say this is probably the best Mobile One scheme this year.
Definitely. I don't know. I'm a sucker for black cars and like gold writing.
Legacy Motor Club.
Last year when well, it's not just that. Like, I just love the way it looks. Like when Johnson announced his Legacy Motor Club car, like I fangirled over that car so hard. Not just because it was Johnson, but how nice it looked. You know what I mean?
You don't mean this one, do you?
Are you holding it up? I can't really see your camera. I'm not gonna lie. If you are, then yes, that one. If you're not, then I have no idea. All my Johnson cars are way over there, or I would have got mine. But I don't know. That's just one of my favorite schemes as far as like newer schemes. Like as far as color combinations, not just schemes in general. But I definitely like this number 50. I think it's really cool because they're celebrating 50 years of Mobile One.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are confused thinking that the money team technically has the rights to the 50 or whatever. But if you think about it, I mean, they run the 50, but they're not a chartered team. They don't exactly own the number.
Well, it's not even necessarily that. They don't really have the rights. They buy these numbers, or they don't even buy them. They rent them from NASCAR. So if NASCAR says, yeah, you could run this, there's nothing they can do about it. At any given point, like they could yank the number 9 from Hendrick or the number 5 from Hendrick. It doesn't matter. NASCAR owns these numbers. So like, you get what I'm saying? There's nothing. I mean, it might be in their contract that they can't do it in the middle of a season or something, but at the beginning of the year, it's kind of up to the highest bidder.
Yep. Now, I mean, when this new NASCAR game comes out, if they happen to have this scheme in the game, I might be running it. Just saying.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of these schemes, I like. I don't want to give it away right now, but you'll know what I'm talking about. The My Now scheme from RS Cubed. I will have to run that one just because it's an amazing scheme.
Hey, maybe I'll join you and I'll drive his teammate scheme.
They were both really good. I'm not gonna lie. I liked them. But enough with the the B-rate drivers. Let's get on to the real driver and show his beautiful ski.
Look at that beautiful thing that I just pre-ordered this afternoon.
You and me both, don't worry. You can tell we're both Johnson fans because that's mainly who we talk about. I'm really, really excited for August because my 75 years of petty car comes in. I got an Elite, and I'm ready to see how beautiful that thing is.
I haven't.
Now I have a problem.
I haven't tried to get those yet. I don't know how my wife feels
Well,
getting an Apex car.
I'm talking about the one that he ran in Daytona.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got that one pre-ordered.
I'm talking about the blue one. Yeah, no. I ended up. I pre-ordered the Kyle Petty one just because that's the only 1/64th you can pre-order. So I don't really have a date when that one's supposed to come in yet, so I have no idea on that one. But
I'm really considering getting
I am
Apex.
looking forward to. Yeah, but my wife would kill me. You heard her before we started the stream.
I'm pretty sure mine would kill me too.
That and I have no room for them. Like that was what I was gonna say. My problem with when a Daytona 500 car comes in is that I have no room for it on my Johnson shelf. So I'm gonna have to make a sacrifice on what I want to get rid of. Well, not really get rid of, but move off the shelf. I've already demoted one of my 124s, but I don't know which one I want to demote anymore.
Yeah, you.
I need a bigger shelf. That's what I'm boiling down to. I need a bigger shelf.
So, before we continue on,
But
we missed something.
Well, let's just talk about this for a minute. Let's just talk about the scheme just for a minute. He's running the Advent Health. It looks a lot like Eric Jones.
Yeah.
It is the same as Eric Jones. Pretty sure.
Except it has a better number on this.
Exactly. And then that's all I wanted to address. So, continue on.
Alright, so I should have put this before the paint scheme, as we were talking about Coda. But I put you on the spot.
True.
Who you got winning
Let's
Coda?
hear it.
I did my research before the episode.
Did you? I sure
Well,
did.
I mean, there's only 3 cup races.
SVG's running Coda, right?
He is.
SVG's running Coda, right?
In his WeatherTech
That's
car.
who's going to be my pick.
Got SVG.
That's who I'm picking. I've got SVG solely because he went to Chicago's road course and dominated. That's what he did in the supercar. Is that what it's called?
I don't
Or
know.
Australia, I think that's what it's called. But you know what I'm talking about. In the series that he was in before NASCAR. Yeah, he's with Trackhouse, right?
Yep.
I think he's going to get it done again and show these.
He's not with Trackhouse. He's with Colleague. Running the 16.
He ran. What team did he run for in Chicago? Was it Trackhouse?
That was Trackhouse. He ran like the 91 or whatever.
Ooh, I might have to retract it because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Colleague is an okay team, but I don't know if they have the equipment to get this done. Ugh. I don't know. We'll see. I'll stick with him.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of torn between Kamui Kobayashi and, I mean, technically you got one Toyota that's won it, and the other 2 were Chevys. So it seems like you would want to lean Chevy side, but then
Yeah, but you've got 2. You've got 2 drivers that's mainly what they do.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, look at Kobayashi or SVG. I mean, that's all they did in their respective series.
mhm.
They're going to make these guys that mainly run ovals, unless they wreck out. I'm going to say that. That's going to be the determining factor is who's going to wreck out, who's, you know what I mean? I also understand that Kobayashi isn't as comfortable in these cars as the regular drivers. I think SVG is because he's ran a little bit more of them. He's going to be more comfortable.
Yeah, but his debut in the Cup Series, he was pretty comfortable looking.
Yeah, definitely. Which the supercars they were talking about were almost identical to the way that the Cup cars are set up.
Yeah.
So
Kobayashi's a legend.
We'll see. Oh yeah, I don't mean to discredit him. I just know that if he gets wrecked out, that's gonna him or SVG get wrecked out. Those are gonna be the defining.
Well, you say that, but I did mention that I was torn. I don't know if I want to pick the one driver that has managed to score a pole and a win at COTA, or if I want to do like a dark horse and pick somebody who I think is hungry for a bounce back. That's where I'm torn.
All right, let's hear it.
So the one
Let's
driver,
hear what your thoughts are.
the one driver that has a pole and a win for the 3 times that the Cup Series been to COTA would be Tyler Reddick. First race, he got the pole, but he didn't win. But he won the last race that they went to COTA. So I mean, you got him, and he's in really good equipment. He's been running pretty decently for most of the races until he gets screwed
pretty
up.
top, yeah.
But the other guy who I think is just getting frustrated to no end because of all of his issues on pit road or during the race, I think Kyle Busch might come up there and just put it to him. And I'm torn. I don't know who I want to go with.
Between those two, I can tell you who I would pick. Just between.
Who you got? Wait a second to find out. He froze up again. Yeah. I'm probably gonna lean. I think I'm gonna lean dark horse and go with Kyle Busch. Because why the heck not? You know? I think that's what. Dropping out again. Hopefully he'll be able to jump right back in. Get this little S cube done and.
Am I back?
There we go. So as you were saying.
Oh my lord, dude, this Wi-Fi's kicking my butt tonight. What was the last thing you heard?
You were gonna tell me who you would pick between the two, and then you just like froze up.
Okay, see, yeah, I was already way farther than that. I was gonna say Reddick because, like you said, he's got a pole and a win there. So to me, that says he's really comfortable with the track itself. I would also say that like he's been running very well these past few races in the season, and I think he's really hungry for that win. So I definitely think he's going to be a major contender, and I think if between those two, I would pick him versus Kyle Busch. It seems like if you watch like different road courses and stuff, at least from last year, so Kyle Busch, like take a look at Chicago, he got very frustrated and got into the wall a lot. So that's kind of what I'm taking in account. So.
We shall see. I'm going dark horse. I think I'm gonna pick Kyle Busch.
Going dark. You're gonna take Kyle, huh?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now, I didn't put this in the notes, but we both not gonna have perfect playoff brackets come the end of the season. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Well, Suarez messed that up for. But.
Suarez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Neither one of us picked Suarez.
Nope. I think I picked Chastain, but not Suarez. I don't know. My paper's over there.
All right.
Look at it.
Let's get to the fun part. S cubed.
Right. We're gotta reintroduce it because we haven't ran this yet.
Yep.
So, formerly known as Then and Now, we have our Slick Scheme Spotlight. S cubed is what we're gonna start calling it. Gonna run the same way. We're gonna pick an old scheme and a new scheme from the last race. and then we're going to talk a little bit about it and what made it stand out to us, kind of, or not just to us, but like in the sport, so on and so forth. You see now it's the same thing, just renamed.
Yeah.
So,
50'd it up a little bit.
You have the then.
But we got to roll the intro first for it.
Ooh, that's right, I forgot. We'll roll the clip, baby.
Boom.
Shout out to Voodoo for making all these little transitions. So shout out to him.
Appreciate it. But as you mentioned, I got the historic scheme, and I chose to go with Buddy Baker's The Gray Ghost. Haven't talked about it. I mean, it's got the nice. It kind of gives that Dale Earnhardt vibe with the colors they use for it.
Definitely.
But this one here is the Rainier Racing number 28. That was run back in 1979, 1980. Technically a little bit earlier than that, but I'll get that in a second. It was built by the crew chief Waddell Wilson and driven by Buddy Baker, obviously. The biggest thing was that they won the 1980 Daytona 500 at an average speed of 177.602 miles per hour. Now, this next little fact that they had on the website, I don't know if this technically reigns true anymore, but it says, to this day, Baker's Triumph remains the fastest Daytona 500 ever run. I feel like there's cars that's been way faster than that.
I was about to say, I feel like the fastest average I've heard of was like 202 something.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see when the article was published. Anyway. So in addition to that 1980 Daytona 500, it got the pole for the 1979 Daytona 500. And then it went on to win the...
Okay, so... Hang on a minute. I've got an update for that Daytona. According to NASCAR Hall of Fame, okay, no, it still holds today for the fastest Daytona 500 ever ran. The entire race. The Gray Ghost still holds it.
Okay.
Now, the fastest pole ever ran was from Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott, he set the qualifying mark in 1987 when he wheeled Harry Melling's Coors-sponsored number 9 Ford Thunderbird with a pole speed of 210.364 miles an hour.
Dang, that's slow.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the Gray Ghost still holds. I never realized how nice that car looked.
Right.
Like, I remember, like, seeing pictures of it and stuff, but, like, now that I'm, like, really analyzing it, like, he had reflective numbers before they were cool.
Right. It was well before his time.
That car looks so good. That car looks good. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so it still holds today according to NASCAR's Hall of Fame. So I'm going to trust that one.
Yeah, that's seems like a pretty legit sweeper.
Yes.
In addition to the 1980 Daytona 500, also won the inaugural Busch Clash at Daytona in 1979, the pole for the 1979 Daytona 500, and the 1980 Winston 500 at Talladega. So, this is normally where I would hand it over to you and go new scheme. But found out a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Also won another race, but it didn't quite look like this. We're gonna go back in time, 1978, or it was the number 28. Bam. This here is before the Greg. It was still with Rainier, but Lenny Pond was driving it. As you can see, it was the 54. It was 1978. Got that white, blue, and orange. Orange being my favorite color. But Pond's only victory in 234 Premier Series starts was at the Talladega 500 in 1978 in the car. And
he beat Darrell Waltrip in the Talladega 500. Yeah, okay, sorry. We're reading the same article. I'm sorry.
So, after this season, they went and took it to the shop and basically had it streamlined, made it legal for NASCAR with the new rules and stuff. They were coming out in 79.
Great Ghost.
They'll manage to pull them off another. Look at that pretty car there.
It is such a good.
So now we're gonna jump
And
to your scheme.
Now that Voodoo gave you a whole bunch of actual info and real history, I'm gonna give you a car because I like fish and it's pretty.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Of course, this is Of course, this is a Ross Chastain car from this weekend. His Busch car. With this car, I don't know if they did it specifically for the car or what, but Busch is also redesigning their. I want to say their 24 packs of cans to look like a tackle box. So you got that.
I did not know that.
It's just a really nice looking. It's just a really nice looking car. I mean, it has a really cool fish on the side.